Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Pride Pod here at Loud and Proud Orlando. We took a little bit of time off there, Luis, from Pride. There was about a month of off season that we've had since we last recorded. Really, it was slowish. There's been some news that we'll get into today, but it's just been kind of ticking along for them with a long preseason as they get ready this week for their home, not the home opener, but the opener of the season, NWSL season against Racing Louisville on Saturday night. So we're back with a Pride Pod for you guys to kind of give you the updates of what's been happening and preview that game against Racing Louisville. My man Luis is here on a Wednesday night. What's up, Luis? Well, this is being premiered on Wednesday. We're recording on Tuesday.
No, I know. I want to tell everybody thank you so much for listening and watching. It's definitely exciting that the NWSL league is approaching and the home opener, and it's just going to be great. I encourage everyone to come support the Pride. It's definitely a fantastic experience. I think every single player and coaching staff and member of the team, I think, deserves it. We were literally, and actually, I was just talking to John about it. We were so close last season to go to playoffs and possibly be contenders. And now I think it's exciting to see new faces. The core is pretty much we maintain the core. New faces that are joining. An exciting player like Barbara Banda coming to Orlando City, Orlando Pride. So certainly exciting times for the Pride, and I think this time, without a shadow of a doubt, we should go through playoffs easily. Like putting some butter in bread, you know. I think we should go through easily. I think we have the right pieces in place. John.
Sorry about that, Luis. My computer freaked out in the middle of you talking there. The whole
Oh,
screen blacked out, but I'm still here, thankfully. I thought I'd lost you. Yes, exciting season coming up for the Pride. I can't wait for this home opener. I mean, sorry, this season opener on Saturday to see what this team looks like. We don't know much about the Pride in preseason. I was wondering, Luis, and this is completely out of the blue question for you. Do you think Seb is in the Adrian Heath school of don't tell anybody about your preseason? Is that Do you think it's coming from him why we see so little? Like we know more about what happens in Orlando City preseason than we haven't heard results of games, what's been happening. We just kind of get a little bit of news about the squad, but not much about the actual team. Do you think that's Seb who wants that?
yeah. I mean, I think there's some sort of secrecy with what's happening. On the back end here for the club, but I do believe that in a way it could help us a lot because now on Twitter, and there's so many outlets that are putting stuff out. It's good for us to gather all the info we can from all other teams and them to know how we're going to be playing and how we're going to be using maybe Barbara Banda, and what position is Marta going to have. Is Julie Dahl going to come off the bench? Is she going to start? Is Ali Watt going to be on the wing? So all those questions. Are we going to maintain the same back four? So now Carrie Lawrence is back. So I mean, it's she's definitely gonna fight for a position right there in the back four as well. So
I think you're right. I do think that we have a lot of question marks around this team, and leaving the opposition in the dark more is going to be beneficial to kind of they don't know who's playing where or necessarily what our tactics or our formation are going to be this season. Just like we don't know a lot of those questions, so we're trying to find out those answers. If you're interested in joining us here on the Orlando Pride Pod version of LPO, please let us know. We are looking out for hosts who want to come on and talk about NWSL with us, talk about Orlando Pride. If you're someone who's followed the team for a long time, or you're someone who feels like you have a good knowledge of NWSL, reach out to us on social media. Let us know if you're interested because we're looking for people who are enthusiastic about Pride like us. We want to come on and host with us on a weekly Pride pod. One more thing before we get into it, Luis. Today, well, as this is going out on Wednesday, is Kay's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to my mom, Kay. Uh, You are an awesome, awesome woman, and everybody knows it. And everything you do for the club is deeply, deeply appreciated. And I'm sure Louise would feel the same way and say happy birthday to you as well.
No, happy birthday, Miss K. Definitely a huge part of of both clubs. I believe we wish you the best always.
Yes, and because she, loves the Pride so much, I thought it would be great to give her a shout out on the Pride Pod on her birthday. So that one's for you, Kay. All right, let's get into the news. Here we go. Orlando Pride introduces two new kits this year. We got a whole new revamp from NWSL. Everybody got two new kits this year in 2024. We had the citrus kit, which is very orange, and then we have the Phoenix kit, which is more purple traditional home kit. They did a really cool jersey reveal event for this, Louise, down at the History Center, where they had lots of kind of photo shoot with all of these oranges around and the oranges on the jersey. It was a lot of kind of cool, just sort of interesting ways to talk about like the Florida history there, tying back obviously to the citrus industry that was a massive part of Central Florida a long time ago,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's reflected in this jersey. I'm going to say, Luis, off the bat, that I'm not a huge fan of the orange jersey, and that's just because it's orange. I think what they try to do with it, I think, is really cool. I think the idea is really good, but for me, I'm not going to buy an orange jersey. What I will say is the numbers on the Phoenix kit, the blue letters numbers on a purple jersey for the Phoenix kit looks absolutely fire. So I think I'm going to have to get me one of those. What's your opinion on these new kits, Louise?
I love both of them. The orange kit to me, it's different. It's kind of fits the culture of the state. Or it's the citrus. Especially.
I love the idea of what they've
Yeah,
done.
like
I'll
I
say
lived
that,
it.
right?
So in Orlando, I lived in West Orlando. So that's where all the orange groves were. Before it was Winter Garden, Claremont. All of those were orange groves. So it's to me, I think it's great. It means has a little bit of meaning. Obviously, Nike is Nike, and but I love what he means or represents, and it's just different. It's just they're gonna look a little different, and I like it. I think it's exciting to always wear something that means more than just the colors, right? It has something to do with the city and with the state. So I think be very well represented with Marta, Rafa, Adriana, and now Barbara Banda. So I think it's gonna be fantastic.
I'm interested to see
I'll
how
get
it
one.
looks in the field with everybody, right? I saw Seb wearing one on
Ooh.
Saturday when he was out there on the field at the City game. So I'm gonna interested to see what the girls look like when they're all kitted up with. I don't know if does that have orange shorts too. It's got to have orange shorts, right? Or blue shorts or
Yeah,
something
no,
to
it
go
is
with it.
orange shorts, orange
Okay.
socks. Also, like it's right here. Look, I'm gonna put it
Wow.
on right now.
It's full orange
Uh,
kit.
right here, you see that's Haley, and
Yep. Yep. Wow. Look
yeah,
at
and
the
so that's Rafa
all in
right there,
oranges.
and those are that's Luana,
See, look
Carrie.
how cute this backdrop is they did
Yeah,
with
the
this.
look. No, it
It's
is.
really
It is
great
pretty cute
little.
back. You know.
Yeah, they made a nice photo shoot of it.
Yeah,
Um, the Phoenix kit is more of our traditional sort of purple home pride kit.
right.
That one, I think they played it a little
It
bit
goes
more safe, a little bit more, this is what will sell. It's a pride kit, it's purple. I think that's perfectly fine. It's not the most
it go
exciting,
back
but
to the roots too.
yeah, it is what it is. I think if you show the picture with the look how nice the blue lettering pops on the purple and it has a little white to it, I think that looks really, really cool. So I think I'm gonna get me one of those purple kits and I don't know who I'm gonna get on the back, Luis. I'm open this year. I'm waiting for a new Pride player to jump out at me and become my new favorite. So whoever
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is, I'll put them on the back.
I like definitely. I would get Ali Lemos. Hopefully, she's gonna have some playing time for sure.
I did get a chance to meet Carrie Lawrence, and she was super nice. So maybe I'll just put her on the back because she
Yeah,
was
Carrie
very nice
Lawrence
to
is
me.
is great. I love Carrie
Yeah, and I
Lawrence
love a
and
center back.
Emily
Gotta love a
Madrill.
center back.
Well, Emily Sams. I do want to say now.
Correct.
Yeah,
Congratulations to
so it's
Emily on getting
congratulations,
married.
Emily, for your wedding and a
Yep.
beautiful wedding, Mrs. Sams now, right? So I'll make sure I get it
Sam's.
right.
We got to get used to that. Sam is on the
Yeah.
field, not Madrill. Alrighty. Well, that was the two kits for this year. Exciting to have two brand new kits. Now we're going to run through a few player updates. These are sort of players that we already knew were around, had been signed, or players we've had updates on injuries from, or perhaps players that we had in the draft that we've now signed. The first one, piece of news was a sad one because Megan Montefusco was out with a season-ending injury. This one was a shame because I think Megan was really starting to develop last year. Um, I think she's somebody who could have kicked on this year and had a really, great year for her. It was sort of like we said, there was debate about those center back positions, who was going to get the starting role, and I think Megan was potentially arguing to say one of those was hers. And now we're looking at that's not being able to happen. Luis, your thoughts on Megan's season-ending injury?
Yeah, super tough loss. I think, I mean, the back four last season was McCutcheon, Madrill, well, now Sam's, Raphael, Raffaele, or Rafa, and then Kylie Strom. And I feel that Seb is going to continue to have that back four this year. I think that's what that's what I believe he's going to do.
So you don't think Megan would have much of a chance of getting in
He would,
over
she would have,
Rafa? I don't think over Rafa, but maybe
she would have
over
been a
Sam's.
great addition coming off the bench,
Okay.
a solid one. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, right, a very solid. If let's say Rafa is playing with club for country and has to travel to Brazil or to South America, Megan is a good replacement, solid. With a lot of experience in the NWSL to take over immediately and not to feel that void of who's going to be defending, right? So I
And
think
Haley in
that,
her comment says like she's going to be back, like this one for the future.
well, I feel like she's gonna be completely, season ending. She's gonna be, I think she underwent right foot surgery. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's just an unfortunate situation. And
but
the cool
hopefully
thing about,
bouncing back in 25, coming back, right?
right, yeah. So I just feel like, with these injuries that sometimes they occur, I just, the good thing is that they're part of a club that truly supports them mentally, because you could truly, like, get yourself very down around this time. So imagine if the Pride this year does a deep run, probably makes it to the final, right? And she's not part of that, right? So I have a feeling that knowing Haley and knowing Seb, they're gonna make even the season ending injury players that are part of the roster right now part of that group one way or another. And I think we saw Megan also coming for, some pride events and things like that. So we're going to be seeing her. It's just not obviously playing, but still I believe that they want to keep that group very tight. And obviously, clearly, Seb and Haley are a huge part of boosting that culture, after going from coach to coach. I remember, when I first started covering the team, that was turbulent times indeed. Now there's a period of, adapting and creating something more than just a brand. So I think that the Pride are in a good track, and it's unfortunate, but I think they have the squad to keep it going.
Yeah, I think it's a shame for Megan personally, but as you said, hopefully she's going to get the right treatment. She's gone into surgery already with Orlando Health, our wonderful partners, and keep her in the team and keep her feeling like she's part of the squad. Someone who is she's going to probably be spending a lot of time with, sadly, is Simone Charlie, another season-ending injury that we got in the last sort of month of news. Sadly, this was somebody that we just signed this year, sort of we thought maybe a replacement for Messiah Bright at the time, but someone that was on the free agency list. And sadly, she's ruptured her Achilles tendon, and she's just the similar situation to Megan is going to have to be out most of the season. Luis, I would ask you your thoughts on this one, but I think it's probably the same thing, right? It's a shame, but we're going to keep her around, and hopefully she's able to bounce back in 25. I think the real thing with Charlie is she's brand new, so that hurts more, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a really tough injury, Achilles tendon, and she already underwent surgery. Obviously, this one was a little bit of a tougher blow because she was probably going to be alternating to have a starting position or fighting for the starting position. Unfortunately, that did not pan out. But they gotta move on. You gotta move on, and like I said, there's other players that will be able to take over from for her. It is unfortunate. We just signed her too, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's a shame there for Simone. I was kind of looking forward to see what she could do. We'll have to wait on that one. But we got some good news in some player signings or players that were here and had new contracts. So Carrie Abello signed a new deal through 2026. Somebody that, Luis, I know you're a fan of and I really like as well. Just hardworking, someone that I believe is part of the sort of spirit of the team. Would you agree? Someone that the locker room really looks to, I would say.
Yeah, super positive locker room person, and clearly she's gonna make an impact. I think this is her year too. Now with Simone, she was a huge part of last year's squad too. Playing with Jordi Listro. I remember her right there in the mid. Super dynamic, great on the 1v1, and again, somebody that it's an Orlando. In a way, she feels so deeply about the team, right? You could tell the way she plays. She's very passionate, feels so strongly about the team, just to just work hard and be that player,
She says
and
here, Luis, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's truly no place I'd rather be. Thank you, Orlando, for having me for the next 3 years.
yeah, there you go.
Just like you said.
And she's highly regarded also in college. So a lot of the people that she played for Penn, they love her, and you could see her work ethic, and I think her extending her to 2026, it's a great move by the Pride. I think she's been nothing but a professional and somebody that came from the college realm and adapted so well in the NWSL, and I think she's gonna definitely exceed all expectations this season. I believe she's gonna come gun ho, ready to win it all.
Do we think more in the D mid or the left back sort of role for Carrie?
She could play as a um like I will say kind of like an eight. Someone that could also attack, but also knows how to defend the ball very really well.
We've got a few of
Um,
those in the mid, so she's gonna have to, fight for a place in that mid now.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But I agree with
And I
you. I
think
think she's able to. She's someone who I would put in the starting 11 personally.
yeah, that's someone I would put also in the starting 11 if you ask me. You know,
Like
I
find a
think
spot
she
for her because she's that kind of player.
yeah, and she's demonstrated that she could really mesh well with like Marta and other players, and she took the spot of, I mean, I know that sounds kind of bad, but she took the spot of Michaela Clough. So Michaela's no longer in the team, so I mean, she's gonna definitely, that's her spot now, in my opinion. That's the way I see it. It was a battle last season of who starts. She won the starting position. Michaela went to be a sub, and I think she's being rewarded for her work ethic, and she's a phenomenal player. And like it's a really tight group now. Like it's before, I remember, and I mean, I know that I'm bringing bad memories, but you see players like not even wanting to, some players going one way, other players going some other way, and there wasn't this bonding, cultural thing, with the Pride. There were a lot of fans that only supported like one player or two players, and then when those two players left, then we saw them in pictures wearing different jerseys. Now there's more of a sense of we are Orlando Pride. Like
We're
we are
playing for
all
the
playing as a
badge,
unit
not for the
collectively.
players.
Right.
It's
We're all
not
playing as a unit
individual.
collectively. And they all have a common goal. So and they're all very adamant about it. And you could see it by the way they're training. You could see it by the but some other, you could see that they're working hard. And last season, for example, we were one goal away to go to playoffs. So yeah.
I think Carrie's going to have a great year this year, and I'm excited for her to sort of kick on even more from what we saw last year. Like you said, she really developed, and I'm excited to see what she can bring in this next season. All right, moving on, we've got another sort of re-signing, as it were, goalkeeper McKinley Crone. I hope I say her name correctly. I apologize if I don't. But she has signed, I believe, another 2 years, Luis?
Yeah,
Uh,
she
Sorry, just
yeah,
with the
right here.
so 1 year.
Yeah,
Um,
1 year, yeah.
1 year. I believe uh, we definitely feel like Sophia is going to be our starting number one. I'd say McKinley's there to be a backup, like she was last year. Native of Maitland, Florida, someone that we know they've used as sort of like a training goalkeeper before, and has been around with the team. Was around last year on a signed on a small contract. What was it? 1 year last year as well
Right,
for
correct.
McKinley. So I don't expect to see a lot of minutes for her, but sort of third string goalkeeper. Would you agree?
I mean, I think this was the best decision too. I mean, I think it was a great decision. She's already with the group. The group likes her. She's in the college level. She played for Alabama, so a big university.
And Collins is still away, I believe, on loan in
Right,
Australia. So we've got Anna Morehouse and we've got Sophia Mata, but she would be our third.
right, and I think she's a competitor. You know what I mean? She fought, and I'm a witness of that because so sometimes we post a lot of content, and a lot of the players say, hey, great content you're putting out, thank you for, and I thank them for their support. She's come a long way. I'm excited to see what her contributions will be this season for the Pride. I'm just happy that she was able to land that gig as a goalkeeper, a part of the of the goalkeeping team for the Pride. She's a competitor. She's worked so hard, with a lot of hard work and dedication, and I just feel like she's going to be huge for the goalkeeping corps for the Pride. And I think the Pride have three really solid goalkeepers, and you know how that goes. That is super great.
I mean,
You know,
I said we're assuming Sophia Mana has been brought in to be the number one. That remains to be like she's got to
right,
claim that spot, right? Obviously, I think
right.
preseason, this is again why we see nothing for preseason. It makes it very difficult for us to know who's gonna, who's been starting. I'm sure even in preseason they would rotate, but Anna Morehouse, I think, like she was frustrating at times last year, but also had some good moments. So maybe she can develop and kick on as well. And then, like you said, if McKinley's stepping up, you've got three goalkeepers. It's not, I would say, outside of a few positions in Orlando Pride this year, I would. There's not many of them that are necessarily locked in number ones, like definite starters. So we're
Now,
gonna see some debate around who gets to start in these games, and
yeah, I mean,
so we're gonna see some fight for certain positions,
right, and
which is good, and we
and
want to
it's
see
great
that.
competition. Mac, I call her Mac. She's, she 9,519 minutes, goalkeeping minutes for NCAA, for Alabama, right? Also, 10 shutouts in a single season, right? So she holds, she had a record in shutouts when she played there. Also, she was part of the SEC All Tournament team, right? She had team honors, and she played 2 years of her collegiate career in Oklahoma as well. So, um,
And she's a
and she
Maitland,
started she
Florida
started
native,
she started in
Luis.
every game as a freshman and as a sophomore. So, and then she transferred to Alabama. So, I mean, she's a keeper that it's there to also compete for that spot for sure. But she's also a team player. You know what I mean? She's there to be an asset, and I think that's why she was signed. I mean, and again, she's used to be with the already with a goalkeeping corps, so it just made the most sense to just bring it over. So, and I think she's solid.
I think so.
She's
I mean, like I said, I love a Florida native signing. It's always good to have.
yeah,
That's what we want. So welcome again, McKinley.
McKinley. Yeah,
Right. Let's move on to the big piece of news. The signing of Zambian international Barbara Banda on a 4-year deal. Now, this was a NWSL record signing, is what it was reported as. The overall deal over 4 years was 2.1 million for Barbara, and that was the record signing. The amount of money she's getting paid per year, she's number 2 in NWSL for that. So there's somebody who plays for Bay FC, she's getting more per year than Barbara, but Barbara's number 2, and the overall deal is the biggest in NWSL history, and obviously the biggest in Orlando Pride history. Luis, your opening thoughts on our star number 9, our new striker.
exciting, exciting. I thought after also Miss Bright left the team, we were going to see maybe Adriana as a starting nine. And she could play the wing and also play the nine. So I think she's gonna definitely be one of our wingers now. But I think it's very exciting. Somebody that has excel in the Chinese Women's Super League. Somebody that has also done tremendous things for Zambia, right? She had a phenomenal performance in the Olympics and in the World Cup. So she's definitely a world class caliber player. She's just physically imposing, John. She's just like one of those players that you just can mark. And she's showed it. Only 24 years old. Pretty much, she's going to turn 24. So she's going to make a huge impact in the NWSL. And, she's signing. I'm just really proud that the Pride is investing this much in this team. You know what I mean? Because they truly believe that we're definitely going to be competitors. So that's that type of signing. Signing a player like Barbara Banda. So it's phenomenal. I'm just excited to see her on the pitch.
I was shocked to find out that she was only 23, because I think that her record of what she's done in her career already is incredible. And to think that she's got most of her career yet still to come is amazing. She started out at the Green Buffaloes, which is an incredible name for a women's football club out of Zambia, and then moved to Longoro in Spain, which is part of the Primera Federación. And then she's gone over to Shanghai, um, in China, and that was in 2020 to 2023. And she's in 13 appearances, Luis. She scored 18 goals. Now, the only thing that concerns me is only 13 appearances across 3 years. Probably an injury in there. But that record of 18 goals in 13 games is insane. And then her record for Zambia is even more outrageous. In 58 appearances, 51 goals. I mean, that's insane. I think for her goal scoring, that's like Erling Holland level of goal scoring production for your country. So she looks like an incredible talent. I think that we were wondering when Messiah went, what was going to happen with that striker position. Were we gonna, like, we talked about Simone Charlie? Was she going to get the opportunity? There's also Amanda Allen in the squad who can play up there. Like, we've had a few other players in the squad that could potentially play there, like Adriana or someone else, like maybe even Julie Doyle. But we were kind of hoping that we go out and sign a big name player this offseason. And then we have done that in Barbara Banda. So there was rumors early in the season that we're after some American stars, and they sort of went to other different places around the league. And so I was kind of thinking like we're going to miss out. We're not going to get that player in, and then we go ahead and sign Barbara to the league record, and arguably potentially the best signing in the league this offseason. And that says a lot when you look at what has happened this offseason in NWSL. Would you agree that she's going to be up there in the conversation as one of the best strikers this year in the league?
Yeah, for sure. She can definitely. I mean, she has the physicality. She has the work ethic, and she has the goals, right, to back her up. So I truly believe that. Also, we are going a different route here, where not a lot of people may know who she is, but she's definitely,
I mean, she's still a name in the
yeah,
women's
she's a
soccer world
name,
for sure.
right? Right. So I mean,
She's
but I'm talking
not
about the right,
massive, but she's up there.
right, right. So we're going a direction that we're trying to find players that are coming over to the Pride to make an impact and to score goals, and have that scoring ability, which is actually what we lacked last season. That's the reason why we didn't go to the playoffs. So now with her, you're pairing up with Amanda Allen, with Adriana, or you also have Ali Watt. You have also Julie Doyle.
We
These
really
are players,
lacked goals
right?
last year.
Right. So now these boosters that there's gonna be more scoring chances for sure. And now if she can finish them off, then we have NWSL. Watch out because
I mean, that record, Luis, just shows a level of what I would call like clinical finishing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't have a record like that and be somebody who gets chances and throws them away, in my opinion.
right. Yeah, I mean it's just
I think
amazing
her
that
on the break with all that speed and power, it's going to be like we saw with Messiah, but bigger and better. Does that make sense?
yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely she's a more poised and skillful striker than Messiah Bright. I mean, just because of the experience playing in different leagues and also playing in for club, right? I mean, well, for country more than anything on her record. So um, a little different than Messiah. Messiah is starting her career recently, playing for the major leagues, right? So I think we're getting the best deal possible for Banda, and I am just excited that I'm just more excited that the club is willing to spend um, that much on such a
I
player that's going
agree.
to make a difference. you
I
know,
absolutely love it. I think that the fact that the Wilfs are like, yeah, we'll spend money on the Pride. I
but
think
yeah,
that's I think that's great. I think that the way you get crowd to come out for these games is to have a winning team at this level, right? You need to capture the hearts, and we could do that. It's way easier for the Pride to go and win NWSL than it is for Orlando City to go win MLS. And you could throw a certain amount of money at Pride and I think get a long way towards that goal. And clearly they're not shy of doing that. They've spent the most in the history. I'm super excited by the fact that they not only care enough, Luis, because there's always that question mark. Like they inherited the Pride with Orlando City. The Wilfs could have been like, we don't care about this thing, right?
right.
It's not interesting to us. It's like an attachment of the other club we bought. But they've gone, no, this is important. We value this. It's what we want. It's the future. They can recognize that. And then they've gone and invested a lot of money into it. And I think that really speaks volumes of how much they care about all parts of our organization.
No, I agree with you 100%. I just think it's great for the league that they're spending that much on the Pride, and it's great for the Pride. It's great for the city, and it's what's going to also bring more seats to see the Pride. And I encourage again everybody that if you're an Orlando City fan or OCB, go see the Pride. I mean, I mean, if you went there 5 years ago, trust me, it is a complete different experience. It's a complete different team, and these are players that are doing so good in the community too. And I saw Ali Watt. I think she infiltrated in one of the Orlando City games. So I want to say hello to Ali. She's a great photographer. I haven't seen the pictures yet, but if she's
Allie
watching,
does photography at the city games.
yeah.
That's super
So
cool.
that's super cool. So exciting there, and we are definitely excited for what the Wolves are willing to do with the Pride. And you know, my dream, if you ask me about it, is for the Pride to win the NWSL. And then imagine if the Lions then to deliver another cup to the Vault, right?
Oh, the Volt needs some pride stuff.
Correct. They need some Pride stuff. They need a Pride cup, and I
But
think
like
we're
right
on
now, what are
that.
they going to
We're
put
on
in
that
there?
trend, John.
I mean, at the moment, we got nothing to show for our time in NWSL. So similar to the rough start that Orlando City had in MLS, the Pride has had a rough start in NWSL, and I really feel like this is the year, that things can jump up to that next level. It's like I said, everyone in the league has been spending and investing, but we've been doing that too. So I don't see any reason why we can't go out this year and make a real big splash in NWSL.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to show this right here. I think the city had a really cool gesture for Barbara Banda. They light up the actual fountain with the Zambian national team
The
colors,
red and the green
the
and the
red and the
black.
green. Yeah, so that was pretty sweet. If Barbara was watching, they did this for you, Barbara.
I
So
think it's super cool.
I think it's super sweet. Yeah,
I'm
so it just kind
excited.
of shows that we're welcoming her with open arms, right? And ready to for her to score some goals for us and make a lot of fans very happy, and to set some warning shots for the rest of the league that hey, Orlando Preds here, it's no joke, and I think we should use our stadium as a fortress too. It is even a lot of teams, they use their stadiums to be that 12th man. We got to get to that level too. So I commend everybody to come watch the Pride.
Yes, definitely. I think it's going to be an exciting year. And we get a few home wins, then maybe we'll start getting a bit more momentum. And by the end of the season, we're seeing a bit more of the crowd. I love it on a Pride game day when we've got like 10,000 people in there. Most of the time we're looking at two or 3 or 4 thousand. So if we can grow the numbers of attendance this year in Pride, and if Luis, me, and you are part of that with this podcast,
Yeah,
then I think that's what we're aiming for here. We're trying to support the Pride as best we can because we believe in them and we believe in the product and we believe that it is. I think it's a great day out. I think if you could take 10 or 20 bucks, whatever it is, for a ticket because it's cheap, and you can blow that in 2 seconds at Disney, but you can come down and bring your kids, bring the whole family for a cheap, fun, enjoyable night out. Enjoy some women's soccer. It's always got a great family atmosphere. The players are always super nice, and it just really has that sort of small family vibe about the games, Luis, that remind me of the old USL days with Orlando City, and
it
I
does.
really enjoy it.
That's one thing that I do. I have a young daughter, so she's 6, and she's doing her little league soccer, right? And she's curious now to see teams and follow, and so I'm definitely going to take her to see the Pride. I think hopefully she gets to meet some players and things like that. I think it'll be a great experience for her, just kind of to show hey, look, if you work hard for what you want and this is what you like to do, you can end up to be like a Julie Doyle, or like a Barbara Banda, or like a Marta, or like a Cariavello, right? So it's good for them that young to see the pros. And I think I commend everybody to come support the Pride, and I think we're doing a great thing for with this pod. I feel 100% with you, John. That we want to be definitely that positive influence there, and then we can maybe bring a couple more people to see the Pride. I'm delighted if we get that. So I know that we will, though. I know that we
For
will.
sure. The season is not far away, Luis. This Saturday, the home opener, as mentioned, against Racing Louisville. Sorry, not home. I keep saying that. I gotta stop. It's the
Yeah,
opener of the season. It's
of the
not at
season.
home. I want it to be at home. That's why, Luis.
Home
It's
openers against Angel City
the
FC.
home opener is next Saturday on the 23rd against. No, I've lost
Angel
it.
City.
Sorry, the 24th. No, where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 22nd.
Sorry, it's Friday
Yeah,
night. That's
Friday the
why it threw me off.
22nd.
It's Friday night.
Yeah,
It's not
Friday the
on
22nd.
Saturday.
Yeah, Friday night.
Guys, I gotta get my
We gotta
Pride
go.
calendar in order. Seriously, I've been all city. I gotta get start thinking Pride too. So Friday night is the home opener next week on
Right,
the 22nd against Angel City. That's gonna be a massive game. But before that, this weekend on Saturday,
right.
Racing Louisville away. A team, Luis, Racing Louisville, that I don't think have made some big splashes in the offseason. I've tried to keep up with NWSL news, but there's a lot going on. There have been teams around the league like Bay or like Angel City or like Gotham from the LA and New York teams that have been doing some major big signings. But Racing Louisville, I would say potentially one of the lower half teams. Would you think that's fair? I mean, it's very difficult to say with NWSL.
Look,
Like potentially playoffs, but not a definite playoff team.
they were ninth last season. We were seventh. Um, we've battled with them. They have a decent squad, but this is one thing that I do want to say about Racing Louisville. They've traveled on preseason. So for example, and they've gone, for example, they faced a Houston Dash on February the 7th in Arizona, right? Then February the 27th, 20 days later, they traveled to Colombia, and then they did the opener, the exhibition match for America de Cali, one of the biggest teams there in Colombia. And now you have to understand the Colombian league now, if you've seen the Gold Cup, if you watch the World Cup, Colombia now, it's not just any team. They have actually one of the best women's soccer leagues in South America right now. And it's a short one, but it's a very competitive one. So, and they play against the top team there. So they got really tough competition. They won in Colombia 2-0 against America de Cali. Then they played March 1st again in Cali. They played against Gotham, right? So the Gotham also traveled there. They did like a
Like a little
um,
camp. Yep.
little camp there. And then March 9th, they play against Chicago Red Stars. So,
We
you
know more
know,
about their preseason than we do about our preseason, Luis.
yeah, because they put it out on their their website. Thank you, Racing
Uh,
Louisville Communications, for your
Thanks for that,
input.
because we don't know
But
anything.
I would say, they've gotten some games against some tougher competition, maybe that we did. That could be a double-edged sword. It could be that they're a little bit stressed, and they may fumble against us, and with us we come fresh. We come from playing, FSU and a couple of other teams, and again, the signings that we've done, right, and the core that we've kept. So I'm excited. I'm excited to face them. I think they're going to be a contender. I think they're going to be, they're a direct competitor. Sorry, not contender. Direct competitor to us. So we're going to be fighting for that. You know, fifth or sixth spot right there. To go to the playoffs probably.
Well, this year I think it's up to 8 goes into the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So by that, if we do the same as last year, we'll make the playoffs. But I would like to kick on a bit more from seventh, like you said. I think if we're looking at the whole league, there's probably Angel City, Gotham, potentially the new team, the Bay, that are going to be your big three. Seattle Rain back in that conversation, even Portland Thorns, North Carolina Courage. Those are going to be your top 5 or 6 teams, and we are also, I think, in that conversation. But there are a few in there that I think will be really good, like Angel City and Gotham. So, are we a top 3 team, or like agree with you, Luis? We're more likely a sort of 4, 5, 6 sort of team.
I think we need
Is
to
that a
shoot.
realistic place for us to aim?
Yeah, realistically, we're on the 4, 5, 6,
But
and
we could win it. Like I'm just
yeah,
saying based on last year, this is and what we've seen in preseason, this is roughly where I would guess.
yeah. This year we should aim for the 4, 5, 6. Realistically speaking,
As a
you know,
minimum, right? As like a lowest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, realistically speaking, with all the signings, I think we should be 4, 5, 6. Um, and I think now in playoffs we could actually be. I feel we could be a contender for the cup.
I think as long as we make playoffs and look strong at the end of the season, then we're up there with anybody as a chance of getting it, right? I think the most important thing is making playoffs. Last year was great progress, but we still didn't. We just so unlucky to miss out on the last day. So at a minimum this year, make playoffs is the benchmark, and hopefully, like we said, aim for that 4, 5, 6. But potentially, even we could get up there in first, second, third, Luis, if we have a really good season. I think this team is capable of that. It just depends how well we do this year and how well we start and overall just the amount of injuries, et cetera, et cetera. But sort of floor to ceiling, the ceiling is winning the whole thing. Floor would be at a minimum making playoffs, I'd say.
No, I agree with you. And last season, I do want to say on October the 6th, we lost 3-2 against Racing Louisville. They were at home. We were visiting, but I mean we've gotten better. I mean, we no longer have Messiah Bright. We no longer have Jordan Listro. We've kept the back four, um, and I think I think we added some good pieces that are definitely going to make us hopefully get the win. So
I was
I'm excited. I'm hopeful.
I was wondering whether we could potentially throw a lineup together. Like we said, we're very. It would be a sort of shot in the dark from us, right? As to maybe what we would see. I think there's the back five sort of has more. It seems to me like it's more obvious what our defense is than our attack. Does that make sense? I would say, Luis, and you can let's put this in loosely, but Sophia at goalkeeper, right?
Hold on. Let me get the. I have
But
to change this because it's on white and it has to be on orange.
oh, yeah, you're gonna go orange. Makes sense. Orange for our first away game in orange this weekend.
Uh, who would have
um,
the an orange?
you got to pick
Yeah,
it. Find yourself an orange club. Houston. There you go.
that's right.
But in terms of lineup, I tend to agree with you about that back four being, Kylie Strom at left back, Rafa, Emily Sams, and then probably Haley at right back
yeah,
with
so
Sophia and goalkeeper.
we're
That's
gonna see.
assuming off last season that would be our back four again. Now that could have changed. Players could be in or out. They could be not fit to go. There could be players that have taken their position in preseason. We don't know because we haven't got much information on that. But based on last year, that's what we would assume, right?
Yeah. I mean Sophia Manor. We also have Anna Morehouse. I don't know if Anna's gonna get the gig, but I mean,
I think Sophia was brought in to be the number one, like we talked about.
okay, at the back four, I agree with you. I think it should be Haley right here, Haley McCutcheon.
Yeah,
Um, and then
with Rafa and Emily Sams.
we'll have we have Emily Sams. There you go, Emily. I changed your last name officially. Then you have Rafaeli or Rafa.
I just go with Rafa.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it's Raphael or Raffaele.
Rafaeli. Yeah,
Raffaele. Yeah.
yeah, that's how you pronounce it, Rafaeli.
And then Kylie Strom.
And then yeah, Kylie Strom for sure. I mean, this is a strong back line in my opinion.
It's solid.
It's a
Uh,
solid back line right
and
there.
then our two D mids, there's lots of debate around this, but who would you go for in those two D
I
mid
will go
positions?
here to carry. And who will you put on the right?
Um, I would go. So you're going carry at lefty mid.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
think
mean, you could
it's either
or left. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, we yeah. I mean, we could put her here if I mean.
I would say Angelina or Luana starting in that other D mid position.
Okay, so
If
Luana, yeah, I
if
think
carries in there, Luana definitely is more of a D mid. Angelina could be used further up the field. We don't know.
yeah, and I think yeah, I think Carrie, Luana, and then who would you say here, Marta?
Yeah, I can't actually see. Sorry, can you put it on the screen? Do you have it up?
Oh, I don't have it on. Oh, what did I
No, I
do?
haven't got it up.
Oh, sorry about that. My
You're
apologies.
good.
Boom.
Technical
There you
difficulties
go.
here. There we go.
There you go. Sorry about that. My
You're
apologies.
good, bro. Left wing. I think left wing Larroquette. Don't. I think well, Larroquette's on one of the wings. It could be left or right,
Look
but
at
I think
that,
left
man.
wing. And then right
Laro,
wing is got to be
Adriana.
Adriana. Yeah, we're starting to look
That's
stacked.
South American, right?
We're starting to look
That's
stacked.
like that's a stack right there. Like, and right here, who you gonna put?
It's got to be
BB
Barbara. Yeah, BB
BB
Barbara
gun,
Banda. We need a nickname. Does she have a nickname? We got to
the
do some
BB gun.
research on that. The Bandit, Barbara Banda herself. Um, I think that that's a strong lineup. I think there's an argument, maybe Angelina in there somewhere,
I think you
but
want to start with Marta because of what Marta is, and then we
I
gotta
just
we
do
gotta
see
put this game
Angelina as
away.
the number 10 backup. Is that what you see more as her coming off the bench when March is tired to play that 10 role, or do you see her deeper in the mid, or even she could play on the wing? I
I
think
have a feeling that to extend Marta's playability, when there needs to be rotation. So
you can't be playing Marta 90 minutes every week.
Angelina is going to have plenty of time, and there it's kind of like I mean, I know I'm
She thinks
probably
she's training
muddy
her
waters right
to
now,
take
but
over that position.
Martino Heda is a perfect example. So she's gonna play. Marta's gonna play, probably start. They want to probably capitalize on the first half, and then you just take Marta out minute 50. You put Angelina. Boom! The defenses don't know what they're getting themselves, against, and Angelina causes an immediate impact on the attacking third. And I think that's the way we're going to go. Now, there's going to be some games that if they're playing back to back, they're playing close enough, like in Challenge Cup stuff. I think Angelina should start, and and I think that's the cool thing about Seb now having all these pieces. Now, you say Lara Cat, you could put Julie Dole right here.
Yep. I mean, I've got a Evelina Duljan. We've got Ali Lemos, who
Yeah,
looks like a great talent. Morgan Gutrat that we signed is another
exactly.
D mid who could come in. You know, we've got fullbacks in Selena and Carrie Abella could even
And
play
you
there.
also have Viviana Villacourt. Well, I mean,
Brianna
she's dealing with an
Martinez.
injury, yeah.
We've
So
got Villa Corta. So
she's
we're
injured. But now on the back, you have Carrie Lawrence.
Ali Watt. We haven't even talked about Ali Watt's got
You
to
have
go in
Ali
there
Watt on the
somewhere.
right.
Amanda Allen is an option up top or on the wing. She's so fast,
You
Amanda
got
Allen.
also Brianna Martinez. She's fantastic. I mean,
Alex
so look all
Kerr.
those added pieces now. Corey Dyke too. You
We've got a
know,
lot of pieces here. Um, so I'm interested to see. I mean, this is like we said, Luis, us off the top of our head from last year, from what we understand of the squad and sort of where we think they might be starting or who could be starters. But that doesn't mean that this is, I think, like we said, there's plenty of people that could be switched out here, plenty of players that I could say, actually, this person over this person. Maybe not like Marta or Barbara, perhaps, right? Or probably someone like Adriana, I would say is a nailed on starter. But outside of that, maybe the back four, like Rafa in a center back position, I would say probably a nailed on starter.
yeah. I'll
But
say Haley is a nail on, in my opinion, unless she's
Haley at
injured.
right back, there's
I
an
mean,
argument for
Haley is
that. Yeah.
she was one of the, in my
Um,
opinion, in my humble opinion here. I know.
So there's definitely a lot of debate here for who's going to
Yeah.
get these starting roles. And I think that's great. It shows that the squad has been filled out, like unlike other years where there's so much competition for places, and that's what we need in a squad, and that's what we got here. So I'm excited for the year. I can't wait to see this first match on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're stacked, and I think the cool thing about one thing is being stacked with a lot of stars and then not meshing well. I believe they're actually going to be meshing well, and they're part of this core unit. Cool thing that Lara Ket was able to join last season. She had some games already with the Pride in. She did preseason. Same with our back four. Are going to be solid. I mean, Rafa had an amazing Golds Cup. I mean, Brazil had a phenomenal Golds Cup. And I think this year, Carrie Abello, the Americans that are on this team, Haley, Carrie, if Orlando makes a deep run, U.S. women's national team. I mean,
I
why
think
not?
there's definitely some argument for some of our players. Like Ali Lemos is big part of the U22
Yeah,
national team. So that's one that if she can step up, then she's going to be pushing to get
for,
that first
for sure.
national team official appearance. So I think that we are in a position now where we have all the tools. We've had a long preseason. We just got to go out and start winning some games. This one is on Saturday at 4 o'clock, Louis. So plenty of people can tune in. There's no overlap with the city game.
Paramount,
So
right?
the city, yeah, it's on a number of different places this year. Remember we talked about earlier in the year where all the games are. So make sure you're going on the website on Orlando Pride and checking, like I am doing right now, because I don't know whether this one is on Paramount or not. They're moving around this year for the Pride, so check the roster, see where it's at. Hopefully, you got that as a channel that you can watch and tune in on Saturday for the opener. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I think it's going to be a fantastic game, and I think if Orlando steals the 3 points, it's going to be just amazing. And going to play against Angel City with former Orlando Pride players there. Messiah Brett probably starting for them.
Yeah,
You have
at home
also
next week.
Ali Riley. She's
Yeah,
there, right? And then I want to say there's one more. Um,
there's a few over there.
yeah,
I
there's a few
think.
there. Yeah.
But
So
we don't care about what anyone else is doing, Luis. We're just gonna go out there and start the season well. That's what matters for the
that's right.
Pride. So I would ask you for a score prediction, but like I said, it's really hard. We haven't seen much of preseason
We're gonna we're
to do
gonna we're
that.
gonna start seeing some bands.
I'm saying
Bands.
I'm saying we're gonna win. That's what
We're
I'm
gonna.
gonna say. And I think
I think that's your nickname,
Bandy,
bands.
the
Some
Bandit,
bands.
Banda, Barbara Banda the Bandit, which she needs a nickname, is going to get one. There we go. That's my prediction, Luis. A win and a Barbara goal.
I think we're gonna win 2-0, and it's gonna be Adriana and also Barbara Banda with scores of the night
Love it.
of the afternoon.
Adriana is going to have a great year. I can tell she's ready
She's a
to
beast.
explode. All righty. Well, thank you, everybody. We've done an hour of Pride, so that's great. We were only planning about 30, 40 minutes, so it's awesome that we had so much to talk about and that everybody is now fully up to date and ready for the season to start. Thank you for listening. Please go ahead and subscribe to our Loud and Proud Orlando if you haven't already. Tell everybody about Orlando Pride Pod. Tell them about our Orlando City Pods that we have on Monday and Thursday. Go ahead and turn on the notification bell on YouTube as well. And that way you will not miss any of our videos as they come out. You can find us as Loud and Proud Orlando on X. You can find us as Loud and Proud Orlando on Instagram. The socials are on the page right now. It's LPO_podcast on both of those. And on Facebook, it's just Loud and Proud Orlando. Luis, where can they find you on X?
You can find me at Pineda_ORL. So make sure you follow me. I just learned to put some GIFs.
Oh,
So
you're joining the GIF world.
I'm doing great. Videos too. So I'm getting becoming a pro.
You're a
Learning from the
pro.
best right here, John. So
Hey, the
hang
world of
in.
X. It's a deep, deep dive. Thank you for everybody who's listening. You can find me on X at John Rollins OCSC. And I'm excited, Luis. It's
No,
almost time.
I'm excited for what's coming for the Pride, and
Yeah.
I'm just
We had a
ready
long
to.
off season, but seemed to fly by because we were so focused on Orlando City. But now it's time to check out what's happening with the Orlando Pride. So
Now,
thank you for listening.
if you want a
Oh,
full soccer experience,
yeah.
if you think about it, you can come literally Friday, March 22nd. Pride opens up the home season opener against Angel City. Tough rival, but we definitely have the squad to win. And then the next day, you can do Orlando City against Austin.
I mean, that
Boom.
we're getting to that point now where I feel bad for the staff of Orlando because I know that they're getting into, especially if you got OCB as well.
Hi,
You got like
Lucas.
3 games in a week, man. That's
Yeah.
rough. To
So
answer your
kudos
question,
to.
Luis, the opener on Saturday will be on NWSL Plus, which is a new network and channel. So check that out. I think it's free. I'm not 100% on
Oh
that.
wow.
And then next Saturday's home opener against Angel City is on Prime. So if you're not someone who
Oh,
can
Amazon
get
Prime.
to the stadium for that one, it's available on Amazon Prime. And I'm hoping it's not part of this like paywall they put up on Amazon Prime. It better be free. I'm not paying extra on top of my Amazon Prime. That's going to be annoying.
I'll pay. I'll pay it.
I'll do it if I have to, but come on, give me some included here. Give you some freebies.
Comes with an orange jersey, John.
It comes with an all right. I'll take the orange jersey. So yeah, exciting! Everybody, please come out for that home opener. It's going to be awesome to see the Pride out for a new season and hopefully getting a win at home. Right now, I'm looking the supporter section, Luis, $10. So that's super cheap. If you want a seat, you can pay $16. So yeah,
That's like
cheap, affordable evening out,
that's like a magnet
$17.
at the store. 60,
Seriously, you can bring your whole family for less than
right?
one person gets into the park. So that's the way I like to look at it. It's a fun, enjoyable evening out for all. And we hope to see you guys there next weekend. We will be back next week, Luis, with a Pride
Yeah,
Pod.
we're gonna try to request some interviews. So
Yep. And we're going to
if
review
you're
what
a Pride player
happens.
and you're watching this, maybe getting a
Yeah.
couple calls right there.
We're gonna hit up some Pride players in the future and get them on. But next week we'll review the Racing Louisville game
Yeah.
and preview our home opener. against Angel City. So thank you to everybody who is still listening and bears with us as we try to get a grip on what's been happening with Pride and prepare for the off season. So only one last thing to do, Luis, and that's say, "Vamos Orlando."
Vamos Orlando. Have a good one, guys.